Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. If you're new here, hi, I'm Kay, and in today's video we're going to be taking a look at update number 4 of my project pan for 2021. So this video is the most late it's ever been. May has been a crazy month. Things have been a bit busy at work, which has meant that when I've been at home I've been quite tired. It's just not really left a lot of time and energy for filming, editing and uploading this month. Hopefully I can get on top of things for June, but I didn't want to miss an upload because I know last year I was combining 2 and 3 months into one and I hated it because it was a lot of effort for the editing. There was a lot to try and keep up with for you guys as well. I don't want to do that. So yes, this is late, but I still just wanted to get something up. So here we go. On that note, I do just want to mention that I take all of my photographs, do my weights and measures on the 8th of every month. That never changes. It doesn't matter how busy I am with everything else. Taking the photos is a lot less time consuming and a lot less physical effort. So I always manage to get that done on time. But obviously it's just the filming that sort of gets pushed back a bit. So whenever I'm talking about current photos or current weights and measures throughout this video, please be aware that I'm talking about the 8th of the month. So if things are looking a little bit different as I'm holding them up now, that's why, because there's been a few weeks since then. If you're not sure what a project pan is and you're wondering what on earth I'm talking about, then I would highly recommend you check out my introduction video, which is on this side I think. And I'll also leave the playlist for this year's project pan in the description box down below. So please feel free to go and check those out before you watch this one. And it'll just give you a better idea about what this project is, what my plans were and are to do with it. And you'll be able to see then how I'm getting on in relation to that. But if you've already been keeping up to date with that, then we'll just get into it now. So the first product that we're going to talk about is actually an empty, and that is the Illamasqua Primer. So I had 2 pots of this that I introduced originally, and I've now finished off the second one. I really liked this primer. The 2 pots that I used, I really did enjoy using them. When I first introduced this, I wasn't sure how I was going to get on with it because it was a weird sort of jelly kind of texture, but it's so hydrating. I did really enjoy it. I don't necessarily have dry skin, but that feeling of cooling hydration on my face was just really pleasant for me. So I am actually considering getting a full size one of these, but for now, in terms of project pan, this is done. So I will be introducing another primer into this project, but as usual I'm just going to leave that till the end. Next up we've got the Nivea Bb Cream, and last month this was weighing in at 39.5 grams and it's currently weighing in at 38 grams. So I did manage to get some use out of it between the last check-in and this one, so that's good. I really feel like there can't be much left, but this just seems to be never ending. I still quite like this product, but I'm just getting bored of it now. I'm so ready to move on to something else. So yeah, I'm hoping this is going to be done soon. Hopefully I'll be a lot closer to that by the next update. Powder, so this is the Huda Beauty baking powder. This one is in the shade Pound Cake, and I didn't even put a mark on because there was just no movement whatsoever. So here is where we were at the last check-in and we're still sitting about there now. I did use it, but I've said before, I'm sure I'll say again, I really don't use a lot of powder. So a product like this is going to take me a long time. This is definitely for the foreseeable. So hopefully by next month I'll be able to make another mark, but right now no movement unfortunately. Something I did get a little bit of movement on was the MAC Fix Plus. So this one is in coconut, and you can see that was last month and this is this month. So you can see there's a bit of a bigger gap than there has been over the last few months. I definitely made a little bit more effort with this, but still not as much as I would have liked. So I'm really going to try and get this finished off now, because there's really not a lot left, is there? So hopefully by the next update this can be nearly finished. Onto bronzer, and we've got the Too Faced Natural Lust bronzer. Hopefully you can see from the photographs that there's some progress being made. I always think it's really hard for yourself to see month on month, but I'm sure once I put the pictures side by side when I'm editing this video, I'll be able to see what's going on. Obviously, as I said, I have used it a few times since then, so this is what it's looking like as I'm filming it. So hopefully you can see that there's stuff going on there. There's definitely a bit of a dip forming around here. That's clearly where I keep dropping my brush into it. But yeah, still happy with this product. I'm still happy to keep it in. There's clearly still a lot to go. It is quite a large bronzer, but yeah, I'm still really enjoying using it, so I'm definitely happy to keep this in the project. And in terms of weight, this has actually gone down, so that's quite nice to see. Even if I can't see it visibly, I can see on the scales that this is moving. So at the last update it was 109.5 grams, and it's now weighing in at 109 grams. So we have lost that 0.5 of a gram, which is good. 3CE blush cushion, and I think I mentioned a couple of months ago that I thought this might be getting dry in the middle. It is by no means done. I recently used this and I sort of squidged around the edges. There's a ton of product left in here, and I know a while ago somebody mentioned to me that they'd seen you could turn the cushions over and get more use out of the product that way, and I don't think I'm even close to needing to do that yet. There's definitely more in here than I thought there was. I thought this was going to dry up pretty quickly, and it just isn't, which I'm not sad about, because I really do enjoy this blush. It's a really pretty shade. It doesn't mess with my makeup when I'm applying it. I just think it looks really pretty on my skin. I'm not actually wearing it today, I don't know why I'm doing that, but yeah, in general I really like this. So I'm not sad that it's not close to being done, but in terms of Project Pan, I really thought this was something that I could finish, and it's harder going than I thought it was. But that's just the way it is sometimes with Project Pan. Obviously with it being a cushion type product, trying to weigh or measure this is, well, I still haven't found a way yet, so I don't have anything to show you for it. All I can tell you is it's still going. Onto highlighter, and the first one in my project is the Milk Makeup Highlighting Stick. Look at the state of that. It's being used and abused, isn't it? And it's definitely disappearing. There's still a fair bit left. I mean, obviously this is as I'm filming. You'll be able to see from the photographs that probably since I took that photograph there's some more being worn away. But yeah, there's still, you can, I don't know if you can tell actually, but you can tell from that hole in the middle, you can still see that there's still a chunk left to go. So I don't think this is going to be done by the next update, but I think definitely by the end of the year this is going to be done, which will be nice, because I was ready to give up on this last year, and now I'm keen to see it through to the end. So it just shows you sometimes how your perspective can change on something depending on what you do with it. I know for me, I think I've mentioned this before, finding that I can use it with a cheek brush rather than just trying to use my finger has really helped me get some more effective use out of this. So sometimes just having things in these kind of projects just helps you to understand how to use your items a bit more, and can give you a newfound appreciation for things, and this has definitely been one of those products for me. So that's that one. And then the Natasha Denona Blush and Glow. Now this is something that I actually didn't use an awful lot last month. It's really hard to see on the photographs as well if there's been any movement. I felt like there was a dip forming, but I couldn't really see it, and comparing the photos, I don't think you can really see too much difference. I really struggled to take a decent photo of this product as well, which really doesn't help. A photographer I am not, but But I will say, I had a sneaking suspicion that I might be close to hitting pan on this, and I don't want to spoil it too much for next month, but let's just say I think I was right. So that's exciting. Obviously I don't want to give too much away for next month, because hopefully I'm going to be taking photographs for next month's update in a couple of weeks time, so I don't want to spoil that, but I'm excited. Eye primer, and last month we introduced the Kaleidos Tone Activator, and I've actually made some progress on this. So last month this was weighing in at 17 grams and it's currently weighing in at 16.5 grams, so that's not too bad. You do only need a little bit, well, I feel like I only need a little bit of product in order to do my eye makeup. So the fact that there's been some sort of weight movement with eye primer is always exciting to me. And I've been getting on okay with it. It's a definite improvement on the Anastasia Beverly Hills one that I had in, that I took out last month. So that's been quite nice as well. So hopefully I can make some decent progress on this, and we'll just see that weight just sort of creeping down month by month. So onto eyeshadow palettes, and last month I introduced the Suva Beauty Rose Period palette. So this was highlighted as a product that I hadn't really used for a year in another video series that I'm doing, a Did I Use It video, which again I'll link if you're interested. So this is what it looks like now. And again, this is another product that I struggle to take a photo of so that you can see clearly what's going on there. But I think compared to when I first introduced this, you can see that there's been some use going on there. I did want to try and get at least 10 uses out of this palette, and I got exactly 10 uses out of it. So I was quite pleased with that. I think 10's my sweet spot. I think any more than that and I struggle, because I don't want to use the same palette every time I do my makeup. I do like to sort of chop and change a little bit. You know, obviously this is all sort of one kind of colour story, and I do like to have a few sort of other different colours in every now and then. Not that you can tell, I'm actually not wearing this palette, but I'm still quite pink today. But we'll get on to what I'm wearing a little bit later on. So I'm happy that I hit my usage goal on this. Overall, I actually quite enjoyed this palette. When I originally picked it up again, I was a bit worried that the mattes were going to cause me some grief. I thought they were a little bit hard pressed, a little bit chalky, but actually I quite enjoyed using this. Then the mattes aren't as bad as I thought they were. The shimmers are nice. Some of them are a bit more like topper shades than they are metallics, but for what I wanted it for and for what I was doing through the month, that was fine for me. So this is going back into my collection. I'm definitely going to hang on to it, and I will probably reach for it again in future. So that's that one. Onto brow products, and we've got the Etude House Drawing Eyebrow Pencil, and you can see from the photograph that there's been a little bit of movement on this, which I'm really happy with. It might not look a lot to some people, but for me, any kind of movement on this kind of brow product is just great, because I really don't do anything with my brows. So I'm really pleased that I'm making some, you know, visible progress on this. As I said, it's only a little bit, but it's visible, it's there. So it just encourages me to keep going, because I think if I was using it and there was no movement, I'd just be like, well, what's the point? So the fact that I can see it just makes me want to persevere with it. So that's that one. Lip liner, and we've got the Illamasqua colouring pencil. This one is in the shade Raw, and again, not much progress, but you can see that there is some. It's again, it's nice that it's visible. Obviously I have used it since I took that photo. You can probably tell it's a little bit shorter than it was. I'm really excited that this might be done by the end of the year. I know for some of you, you might be thinking, you can get that done in a couple of months. But for me, I don't wear makeup every single day. My job, I have to get up really early in the morning for some of my shifts. I am not waking up any earlier just to put makeup on. It's just not happening. So I don't wear makeup every day. So I do find it difficult some months to get some use out of my things. So when I do see progress, I'm really excited. Like I said, some people might be thinking that's really not a lot, but I don't care. I'm happy, I'm excited, and I'm convinced this is going to be done by the end of the year. I'm going to make it happen. More lip products, and we've got the two Maybelline Superstay ink crayons. So we've got, which end is it? There you go. We've got Stay Exceptional and Accept to Dare. And again, I've used the lighter shade a lot more than I've used the darker shade, but I know I definitely got a couple of uses out of this last month, so I'm happy that I'm using them. They're definitely not products that I use every day. They're not products that I use every time I do my makeup. That's more likely to be the pencil and or the lip gloss. But yeah, I'm definitely getting some use out of them, so I'm happy with that. I can't remember if there's any movement on the photos. I think there may have been. I think there may have been, again, a tiny little bit, which again I'm quite pleased with. So that's those. And then the Too Faced Melted Matte Lipstick in the shade Cool Girl. I didn't use this at all last month, so the weight is exactly the same as it was at the last check-in, which is 31.5 grams. I'm a little bit annoyed with myself because I wanted to get some more use out of it, and I'm just leaving it in this basket and not touching it. So I really want to try and get some more use out of it. Since I took those photos, I know I have used this a couple of times, so I know by the next update I'm going to feel a little bit better about this product. But yeah, when I took the photos for this update, I was a bit annoyed with myself. But I've got a few lip products in here, and as I said, I don't wear makeup every day, so I am finding it a little bit difficult to use everything in this project sometimes, and last month was unfortunately one of those times. Lip gloss, and we've got the I Heart Revolution lip gloss in Salted Caramel. I did have to take the stopper out. I was really starting to struggle to get product out, so obviously, you know, you end up with product all up the stem here, but I am actually able to get in there now and access more product. So I feel like that's really good progress, because I know once I took the stopper out of the last one that I had in last year's project, it didn't take me very long to get this finished. So I'm excited that within the next few months this will actually be done. And in terms of weight, this was 17 grams at the last check-in, and it's now weighing in at 16.5 grams. So as well as there being visible movement going on, you know, you can sort of, you know, I can sort of see that there's a lot less in here. I can see in terms of weight on the scales as well, so really happy with that one. And then lip balm, we've got the Givenchy, what was this called? The Le Rouge Perfecto. This is in the shade 01 Perfect Pink. Now, I'm going to show you what it looks like now. So that's what we're currently looking like at the time of filming, but you can see that just between when I took the photo and now, that difference is, you know, quite dramatic. There's a clear difference. So this is definitely going to be done by the next check-in, 100%. So I am going to be putting in another lip balm as well at the end of this video. But yeah, happy with that. It's not my favourite type of lip balm, but it is a really nice size to just sort of pop in your pocket or your handbag, and it's not a terrible lip balm. It's done its job basically. I do feel like this has a bit of a mintiness to it, not strong at all, not overpowering. It's so faint that I almost feel like I'm imagining it, but every time I put it on there's a slight, very slight cooling sensation, so I feel like there is a little bit of mint in here, but I'm not sure. I'm hoping I'm not just imagining it. But yeah, overall quite an enjoyable product, and will definitely be done by next update. And then fragrances. So we've got my little samples in the samples bag, and this is where I've completely let the side down because I didn't finish a single sample last month. So last check-in there were 14 samples left to use. I've still got 14 samples left to use. I took the occasional spray of the odd one or two, but I made the mistake of taking out a fragrance subscription from the fragrance shop, I think it was. I think that's what it was. I'll leave the details for that in the description box down below if you're interested as well. But yeah, basically I've signed up to get an 8ml sample of perfume every single month. I don't know why I did that. I've got enough perfume. I've got samples galore that I'm trying to work my way through as part of this project pan, and something in my brain went, I know what will be a good idea. I think there's something wrong with me. But anyway, that aside, I did get quite excited about the perfume that I had last month, which was the Tom Ford Velvet Orchid, I think. It's the purple one. I actually quite like that perfume. I wasn't sure I was going to, but I actually am quite enjoying it. So unfortunately, samples kind of got neglected. So in fact, it's right here. I can check to see what it is. It was the Tom Ford Velvet Orchid. So yeah, got my little twist up 8ml sample of that here. So yeah, so I just need to put this down for a little while and start using my samples again, because some of these are quite old and I'd quite like to get around to trying them before they go off, so that I've got you know, a realistic idea of whether I like them or not. But that is those. And now we're on to the products that I'm putting into the project. So the first one is a primer. So this one is from Smashbox, and this is the Photo Finish Primer. So this is the Smooth and Blur Primer. Now obviously this is completely different to the Illamasqua Primer, whereas that one's quite hydrating and to me just feels like an extra skincare step. I was literally just putting that all over my face as an extra sort of skincare step really. This one, not so much. I definitely don't want to be doing that. I am just sort of using this sort of in a few sort of key areas. It's very, very silicone-y. It's got a lot of slip to it, which I've used primers like this before and I don't hate them, but compared to the Illamasqua, it's a massive difference. So it's kind of taken me a few uses to get used to it again. It's not a bad primer, it seems to be doing its job, but I think when I finish this, I don't think I'm going to want to buy a full size version of it, not least of all because I've got a lot of primers that I need to get through, samples and full size, so there is that. But yeah, it's okay, but I'm glad that I've put this into the project so that I can try and get it used, because I don't think I would otherwise. Onto the eyeshadow palette that I'm introducing this month, and this is the Be Bella Cosmetics Shades of Roses palette. So this is actually quite recent to my collection. I think I had this in February's Try Beauty box. So this is what it's looking like at the moment. So you can see it's reds and pinks and purples, and we've got some sort of neutral shades going on here as well. I just thought this would be quite a versatile palette for me to use. If I wanted to go neutral, I could. If I wanted to go a bit more colourful, then I could. The colours in here are colours that I naturally gravitate towards anyway. As I said with the Suva Beauty palette, I don't want to use the same palette every single day, so I'm not going to increase the usage goal on this. I am just going to stick to the 10 uses. I'm just going to aim to try and use this 10 times between this update and the next. So far I seem to be doing okay with that, so that's positive. And obviously you can see from the photos that I put up compared to what you can see now, you can see I've definitely given this a little bit of love since then. So hopefully by the next update I'll be reporting that I got my 10 uses out of it and you'll be able to see a clear difference. But yeah, that's that one. And then last but not least, lip balm. So this is something that I've had in my collection for a long time, and that's the reason I'm introducing it, because it needs to go. It definitely needs to be used up. So that is the By Terry Balm de Rose. So it's just a tiny little pot I've got here. It's just a little sample pot, and I have used it before now, clearly, but I'll use it a few times and then just drop it back into the drawer. I never actually leave it out so that I can finish it, and it needs to go. It's getting old, so I want to just get some use out of it. I always forget how strongly By Terry products smell of rose. This is very, very strong. So I probably won't use this as my day-to-day. Obviously it's in a pot, it's not something I can just pop in my pocket and just, you know, apply as and when I want to. Stick type lip balms are much easier for that for me, but this is probably something that I will use at bedtime more than anything else. So it might take me a little while to get through it, but if I'm putting it in the project, then it's going to encourage me to use it, and I might stand half a chance of finishing this before it goes bad. So I haven't written any weights down for this, and obviously I haven't finished the Givenchy one yet, so I'll make sure that I get a weight of this and pop it on the screen for you so that you can see what it is, and then next month we'll find out how much I've actually used. So that brings us to the end of this update. Let me know if you're doing a project pan, how you're getting on with yours this year. Are there any products that you're struggling with? Are there any that you're doing really well with? Have you had any surprises? Is there something that you've been using that's that you've enjoyed more than you thought you would, or you're getting through faster than you thought you would? Just let me know all of that in the comments down below. I really do love to hear all your thoughts and opinions. If you've enjoyed this video, please remember to hit that like button for me. It really does help me out and lets me know that you're enjoying my content. If you're not already subscribed to my channel but you think you'd like to catch up with me more often, then I'd love it if you could hit that subscribe button too. It's totally free and would help you to find me more easily in future. And with all of that being said, I really do hope everyone's well and staying safe, and I will see you all again in another video very, very soon. Thanks for watching. Bye.